everyone, Alpha Eagle here again. Welcome back to my channel. I pray you're all doing well, and may God bless you all. I wasn't going to make this video, but since the last one did so well, and there was more I wanted to say about X-Men 97, I thought, why not? Like the last video, I'll be reacting to Saggy Melonz's take on X-Men 97, and as usual, I have nothing against Saggy, and I don't want anyone to go after her. And before we get to her bad take, I wanted to talk a little bit about what X-Men is all about. Now, Saggy said that X-Men was about differences and discrimination, and that's at least partially true. I was telling people on social media that I can relate to X-Men since, as a straight, white, conservative Christian male in today's society, I know what it's like to be part of a group that is hated. There's a lot of ignorant people who claim that white people aren't hated for being white, or that you can't be racist to white people, and that's a complete lie. And the people who say that are often anti-white racists themselves and don't even know it. It's quite obvious that straight, white, conservative Christian male hate is on the rise. You only need to open your eyes to see it. For example, the Supreme Court ruled that race-based emissions violated the 14th Amendment because they discriminated against white and Asian students, proving that racism against white people does exist. Disney is now being sued for discriminating against white people because of their DEI policy. DEI and ESG are both anti-white racist policies, but that's somehow allowed in our society. In big tech, recently Google's AI, Gemini, was caught generating images erasing white people from history. Now, some anti-white racist person must have programmed it to do that. In entertainment, Hollywood is constantly replacing white characters with non-white actors, even in historical documentaries like Cleopatra. In film, there was a recent trailer for the American Society of Magical Negroes, in which they called white people the most dangerous animals. In books, white people are written as born evil racists and call us all fragile, like the book White Fragility. The media is constantly demonizing white people. Here is Don Lemon ironically saying that we should stop demonizing people while simultaneously demonizing white people.
So we have to stop demonizing people and realize the biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right. And we have to start doing something about them.
In academia, teachers and professors are teaching children and young adults to hate white people. Let's hear what this professor has to say about white people.
I want to say to you is we got to take these motherfuckers out. There were people out here making worlds, Africans and indigenous people, long before white people showed up being raggedy and violent and terrible and trying to take everything from everybody. The white folks and the travesties that they create and the sense that they want to destroy the planet.
In politics, Joe Biden has said that white people will be the minority, and that is a good thing.
Folks like me who were Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America. That's not a bad thing. That's a source of our strength.
He has also called MAGA a threat to the U.S. That's half of the country. I'm MAGA. He's calling me a threat to the country.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Now, I want to be very clear up front. Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans are MAGA Republicans.
Yeah, I know that he said he wasn't talking about all Republicans and just MAGA, and that MAGA isn't the majority of Republicans, but that's not true. As we can see by Trump's wins in the primary, the majority of Republicans are backing a MAGA candidate. So he is calling half of the country a threat to the country. I just heard of another book titled White Rural Rage, The Threat to American Democracy. Again, this book claims that white people are a threat to America. And even so-called journalists who write about X-Men 97 are prejudiced. Look at the headline from the Mary Sue. How are these neckbeard and Republican fans of the X-Men? They're literally not for you. So ironically, the Mary Sue is pushing away half of the country from a series that is supposedly against discrimination. So like the X-Men, I know what it's like to be part of a group that is hated and discriminated against. Speaking of discrimination, Allison Court, the actress who originally played Jubilee, is stepping down to allow an Asian actress to play Jubilee. Now, I really want to know what happened behind the scenes here, because I might be wrong, but I think she may have been persuaded, bullied, or even forced to step down, and we'll probably never know. This is something I've noticed recently with white voice actors. They are often persuaded, bullied, or even forced to step down from roles if they played non-white characters. We've seen this with Hank Azaria, who did the voice of Apu in The Simpsons, as well as other white actors. We don't see this with non-white voice actors. Half-black, half-American Indian voice actress Cree Summer has played several white characters, such as Penny from Inspector Gadget, but was never asked to step down from her roles. The late James Avery, who's a black actor, who played Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, also played an Asian man, the Shredder, from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he was never asked to step down from his role. Black actor Phil Lamar played an Asian character, Jack, from Samurai Jack. He was also never asked to step down. Now, to be clear, I don't care about the race of a voice actor since you can't see them and it's only the voice that matters. But why is there this double standard? Why are only white actors being asked to step down? And speaking of this crazy notion that the voice actors have to be the same race and gender as the characters they play, here is J.P. Karliak. Now, he'll be playing Morph in the X-Men 97 series, and he's queer. But I'm sure that's just a coincidence, and he's just the right man for the job. I'm sure he's much better than the original voice actor, and this has nothing to do with him being queer and having the right politics. He is not a diversity hire at all, and now, of course, I'm being sarcastic. Anyway, finally on to Saggy Melonz' bad takes about X-Men 97. In this clip, Saggy talks about Storm's new haircut.
A mohawk. Well, we know that's not why Disney went with the mohawk. Wait, so you're just gonna assume that the reason why they chose to do another comic book rendition of Storm's haircut because wait, so it's okay in the comic book, but it's not okay for Disney to use that for this? I'm very confused. You know, and it's supposed to be for an agenda. Like, bitch just can't get a haircut.
Now, admittedly, when I first saw her new haircut, I thought nothing about it. Then I remembered that we live in current-day clown world, and all of mainstream entertainment has an agenda. And yes, I know that she had the mohawk in the comics in the 80s, but she didn't have it in 97, when this series is supposed to take place. So, why the change? Well, this image. Now you might say, so what, she's wearing a pantsuit. Now you have to step back and look at the whole picture. Sure, the mohawk or the pantsuit might just be nothing alone, but when you add them together and you realize that this is made in current year and not the 90s, you'll realize that there is an agenda at play. Storm queer-coded. When you look at women in media these days that have a similar look, you know they were trying to make them lesbians. And when you add that with changing Morph's gender, it's obvious that they have a not-so-secret gay agenda, which makes X-Men 97 woke. X-Men 92 was not woke, because there was no changes made from the source material to, quote, fix a perceived social injustice. It's the changes made to the source material that makes X-Men 97 woke. If he didn't make any changes, it wouldn't be woke. Now Saggy claims that the changes were made for bait.
We know is that this whole thing was pretty much, it was bait. Morph is probably the safest character to make that change and make it public and get people pissed. Because this is what they do now. They bait the anti-woke, so guess what? Everyone fucking talks about this show. Now everybody's gonna watch this show. So it doesn't matter whether you pirate it or not, because I love that argument, well, I can just pirate it. You can pirate it, but the moment you talk about it, it's gonna get more people to want to watch it. I'm not going to...
Here I'll say that Saggy is half right. Disney does want people to talk about it, but they want people to talk about it in a positive way. They don't want negative press, and people calling it woke is negative press. Simply talking about it is not going to get people to watch it. You know the phrase, there's no such thing as bad publicity? That's not true at all. Disney does not want bad publicity. Now, why do you think they fired Jonathan Majors? Because he was giving them bad press, and they didn't want anything to do with him. Now, why do you think Warner Brothers cut Amber Heard's scenes from Aquaman 2? Because they didn't want the bad press that came with her. It didn't do much good, though, since the movie bombed. Bad press turns away customers. Some people will not see this series because of its bad press. Now, I was actually excited to see this, but I'm not going to see it now. Or at least I'm not going to pay to see it. Because I know it's woke. So YouTubers like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers will turn away views from X-Men 97 by simply reporting that it's going to be woke. I think it still will be successful. And the reason it's going to be successful is because of nostalgia. Not because it's woke or not, but because people remember it and they loved it. Now, normies are not going to pick up on the wokeness, and they'll see it just for nostalgia.
I'm not going to watch it. I canceled Disney Plus. Well, congratulations. You're not a person who talks shit and doesn't back it up. Proud of you. Now, if the rest of you motherfuckers can get on board, I think that'd be great. Because at the end of the day, y'all spend too much time bitching about shit you are literally giving money to. Congratulations. I hate Disney. Bet y'all still got Disney Plus though. Snowdub doesn't, but I bet you the rest of y'all motherfuckers do. Stop acting like you don't.
And no, I don't have Disney Plus. I'll probably never get Disney Plus. I'll not pay to see this. I might see it, but I won't pay for it. That doesn't mean I'm going to steal it. I don't steal anything. Stealing is a sin. I might see it at a friend's house or something like that, but I won't steal it. Now, Saggy claims that X-Men 92 had an agenda.
Talking about how Disney's been pushing their propaganda agenda. X-Men in general had an agenda. The entire storyline is pretty much political. So like, what? Sir. Yeah, we're already starting off strong. Jeremy talking about being a fan of the 90s cartoon, yet not acknowledging that X-Men in general is agenda. Like, duh.
What was X-Men 92's agenda, Saggy? X-Men 92 had no agenda. If you think they had some altruistic, noble goal for the show, think again. If any child became a better person from watching this show, it's totally coincidental. The show was produced by Avi Arad. Now, at the time, he was the head of Toy Biz. So, if the show had any agenda, it was to sell toys. That was it. Now, Saggy says, let us enjoy it.
The day I'm looking forward to this because I loved the 90s cartoon just like everybody else. Let us just enjoy the fucking show. Let us enjoy the nostalgia.
I hate this argument from the left. They always say, let us enjoy it. We can't enjoy it when other people say negative things about it. Nothing is stopping you from enjoying it. I don't understand how negative criticism stops anyone from enjoying anything. If someone told me that they hated something that I loved, it's not going to make me stop loving that thing. That's why I can't understand why people complain that they can't enjoy something that other people criticize. It doesn't make any sense. If you want to enjoy your woke show that pushes gender ideology and sexuality onto children, go right ahead. The rest of us normal people are going to skip it. Anyway, that's about it for this video. I'm Alpha Eagle. God bless you for watching. God bless America. And I pray that all this anti-white, straight, Christian, conservative, male hate ends. I also pray that Saggy and other people on the left actually understand what conservatives mean when they say woke and stop misrepresenting us.